Hello everyone, welcome to SlipjointSawyer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 Victorinox Swiss Army knives for urban EDC. I've picked out my 5 favourite. I could have picked loads, but I had to go with 5. I've managed to narrow it down. It's taken me a while to do that, so I'm going to jump straight into it with the first one, and that is the Swiss MiniChamp. So this is a 58mm, same as the SD, but like the SD on steroids, an absolute load of tools on here. This one lives on my keys. It has been since the minute I got it. I'd say this is probably my most carried knife this year so far. It's pretty much with me every day. If I leave the house and it's on my keys, it's with me. But just going to go through some of the tools on there, why I think it's so great. So number one really is this tool. So you've got a cap lifter, a wire stripper, and a smaller Phillips screwdriver. I think that's really, really handy. It's a nice tool to have, and it's one you only really get on the 58mm. They do inline ones as well on the larger ones, but this is more sort of common on the 58mm ones. We have, of course, you have the normal spear blade there. You also have the scissors. You have the the tweezers, but instead of the toothpick, it's been exchanged out for the pen. And the way you would activate that is you just push down this tab. It sort of locks in on that step. So you can see the steps just here. And then the pen just exposes itself at the bottom. And then you can go ahead and write whatever you want to do. And it's perfect for yourself in a pinch. Obviously, it's not the sort of tool you're going to want to be using for a long period of time. But to make quick notes and things on the go, I think it's perfect for that. You do have this little sort of spatula tool. We have, what else do we have on the back? We have this small sort of rule with some measurements on it, as well as like a nail cleaner or a small flathead screwdriver. Another one of my favourite tools on here, one that is absolutely fantastic, and I use it a lot as well, is for opening those clamshell packages, you know, when you get like the plastic that's sort of shrunk round a product and it's quite tight. It's hard to cut with scissors, and if you do cut it with scissors, 9 times out of 10 you get cut trying to do it, and this tool just sort of stops all of that. So the way I sort of do it is I hold it upside down like this, stick this corner into the plastic, and sort of work your way around the product, and it cuts it out absolutely excellently. I use this all the time for clamshell packaging, so really would recommend that tool on here as well. And another personal favourite is the Warncliffe blade. It's not something you'd see on a Victorinox knife, and a really cool tool to have on a little tiny knife, especially when it's on your keys. You've got it handy all the time. So another excellent one there. And then of course you have the nail cleaner and also the nail file as well. So there's the first option, the MiniChamp. So that's number 5. So fourth, we have the Recruit. So as I said, it's urban EDC. I've gone for ones that are sort of minimalist / nice slim carries. You know, if you're going to the office, you're going out in public, you can go to a meeting, things like that. Ones that are going to be discreet to carry, that you're not going to notice. So nothing that's going to be too bulky. So I've sort of gone with a rule of like 3 layers or less. But yeah, here we have the Recruit. This is an 84mm, so the next size up from that one. And we have the standard sort of tools. You have the nice big spear blade here. And then on the back, you have the pen blade. The keyring, of course, with the toothpick. And the tweezers. And then on the front, you have the standard 2 sort of tools. So you have the can opener with the small flathead screwdriver. And that opens up all the way with a nice snap. And then on the left-hand side, you have, of course, the cap lifter with the large flathead screwdriver and the wire stripper. And that, of course, has a half stop. And then that snaps open really well into the open position. You can see these are sort of the standard Victorinox Swiss Army tools. Just shrunk down a tiny little bit to fit on the 84mm. So you'll see that the large blade on this is slightly smaller than the 91mm. So there we go. That's number 4, the Victorinox Recruit. Right in the middle of the park, one that's in there because it's probably my favourite pattern of all the Victorinox knives, just for uniqueness and things like that, is the Electrician. And this is in the Alox scales. You can see nicely pinned there as well. Superb fit and finish. Really what you would expect from a Victorinox knife. I wouldn't expect anything less than perfection from them. So we'll start with the tools on the back for a change. We have the inline reamer / owl. See, it's got that nice ramp there, so you're able to get it out of the knife without having a nail nick. See that nice edge there and a really good point. You have the large spear blade as well. Again, another fantastic knife. One that is pretty much on every Victorinox knife, bar maybe the jet setup, as I don't think it has any blades on it. And then we have, on the left-hand side, we have again the cap lifter with the wire stripper and the large flathead screwdriver. And of course that is on the half stop as well. And you would also notice this one doesn't have the keyring. I tend to prefer the ones without the keyrings on. I prefer the sleek overall look. Because the only ones I really would put on a keyring would be the smaller ones. Anything sort of the 84mm and above, I think it's a bit chunky to go on a keyring. But that's my personal opinion. If you guys want to do that, you crack on. Do whatever you enjoy. I don't want to be here telling you what's wrong, what's right. It's a hobby we all enjoy. And, you know, if you love doing that thing, you do it. Do you, and then love what you do. And then the reason I love this knife so much is this sort of sheep's foot blade, the Electrician blade. You sort of have like the wire stripper blade part here, and then a nice sort of flat sheep's foot blade there. Really sort of unique. It's one of the newest tools they released on a Victorinox Swiss Army knife. They're not sort of known for bringing out new things. It's very much a traditional company with the traditional knives. They sort of get something that works and make slight variations of it. But for this reason, it's a small, tiny blade. It's a little bit different to the small pen blade. And I just think that makes for an excellent sort of urban EDC for the office environment, things like that. It's a very discreet, small blade. No one's going to question it. It's absolutely tiny. So there we have number 3. We have the Electrician. And coming in at number 2 is the Super Tinker. Now this is another fantastic one. This is the only 3-layer of them all. The rest are all 2-layer or less. I do think this is another excellent option for an urban EDC sack. Again, you have the large blade on there. You have the small pen blade on the back. And then in the middle, you do have the scissors. Really good scissors on these. I do enjoy them. It's one of the most used tools, I think, for me. And then on the front, again, you have the can opener with a small flathead screwdriver. On the left-hand side, you have the cap lifter, big flathead screwdriver, and of course, the wire stripper again. And then on the back, you do also have a couple of extra tools. You have the reamer with the sewing eye and the owl sort of punch. You have the parcel hook, another one of my favorite tools. There is many uses for this. If you want to check out some of those, go and watch the Slippy and Thrifty Show episode 2. We watched one of Felix Imler's videos where he shows you 13 different uses and hacks to use the parcel hook for, and some of them are absolutely fantastic. And then of course, what I wish pretty much every Victorinox knife would have instead of the corkscrew. As I'm not a drinker, I probably never use the corkscrew. Maybe if I want to undo a knot, that one rare time. But it's the Phillips screwdriver. Yes, it can be a bit awkward to use with this, but if you want to get some torque on something without sort of stripping it, this is definitely the tool for you. I do think that's a nice sort of change up to the corkscrew. And then of course in here you have the little hole for the pin. And as well as that, on the outside, you met with exactly the same tools as most of the other ones. You've got the tweezers on the front, the toothpick on the back, and again, the keyring. And now that brings us down to number 1, which is my favourite Victorinox Swiss Army knife for urban EDC. And it's one I carry. I mean, I carry this on my keys, but it's one I carry in my EDC pouch every day, and I have done since I bought it. It's the Victorinox Compact. For me, this is the best one they've ever made. I know that's going to be controversial for some people, but in my opinion, this is my favourite one. It's one that fits my needs best, and it's one that I absolutely love. I'm just going to go over some of the reasons why, really. So we have the large blade, which is a must for me to have on any Swiss Army knife. And then instead of the sort of small blade, because it's only a 2-layer design, and also instead of the cap lifter and the bottle opener being separate, you have this multi-tool here, and they both this have 4 functions. So you notice a slight difference in the shape. So they're saying this is a cap lifter, a can opener, a wire stripper, and a flathead screwdriver. So you can see the tip is slightly off center to the hook part here, and that's meant to help you be able to open cans. And of course that is on a half stop as well. And then on the back of the front of the knife, something that's quite different to all the other Victorinox knives, and one of the reasons why I love this one, it's the scissors. A 2-layer design with scissors and a large blade, I think is absolutely fantastic. It's what I want. It's a minimalist, and for me, it's just perfect. And on the outside tools, there's a couple of differences as well. It comes with the key ring and the corkscrew on the front. And then on the rear, you'll notice a couple of differences, having the 2 slots here. We have the toothpick, and then this is a ballpoint pen. And again, I think that's absolutely fantastic. If you're in a pinch, you can use this pen. It's obviously not going to be the most comfortable thing, but it's just what it's designed for. It's not for emergencies, but you're in a hurry, you need a quick pen, you know you've got one on you all the time you're carrying the compact. And then, of course, we have on the back, we have the corkscrew with the mini glasses screwdriver, sort of just twisted in there. It's pretty simple to put in, and it just stays in there nicely. We have the pin on the inside, and of course, again, you have that really useful parcel hook with the nail file on the back of it as well. So there we go, guys. That's my top 5 Victorinox Swiss Army knives for urban EDC. Please let me know what you think of this. Do you sort of agree with my decisions? Would you replace any? Let me know. I'd love to have a discussion in the comments. And make sure as well, check out the comments. I've got my Discord in there. There's a load of us guys in there that we talk knives, we talk everything. So check that out. Come and join up. It's free to join. As soon as you click the link, it'll ask you to create a profile, and it'll just sign you straight in. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.